Hello, and welcome to the audio commentary for Psycho 5, a fan film. I am Justin Linville, the writer, director, and unfortunate star of this movie. I played William Pierce, and sitting next to me is.
Uriel Ramos. I played John in the film.
Yes. And this is our opening scene, which is taken from Psycho 4. I'm big on continuity, even in fan films, so I wanted to establish why we would never go to the Bates Motel in this movie, and it's because he actually gets burned down at the end of Psycho 4. So I know this confused a lot of people when they watched it, because they're like, wait, what is this? Wait, you have the budget to set a house on fire? No, we didn't. We just stole this footage, essentially. But this whole scene here was re-edited around, and all the audio is new, and I redid all the audio myself, so it all matched, because there was actually a score going on during the scene. So yeah, that's Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates. There's our explosion we got in our movie. We can now say Psycho 5 had an explosion in it.
Every movie needs one.
Exactly. So I'm proud to say Psycho 5 has one. But yeah, that's I know that confused a few people when they were first watching the movie. And then, moving on to our opening credits sequence, which also explains more of what happened in between my film and Psycho 4. So, we're going through Uriel's backpack. This actually is Uriel's backpack. I just moved the. There's a lot of times you can see the shadow during it.
I lost that backpack. I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah, luckily you filmed the scenes with it before you lost it. So it all worked out good. So all these I put together. I made them on PowerPoint. Actually, I just found a template for well, there you are, Uriel. Yay. And so we're finding out about Norman Bates' son, which is being born, which I guess they would talk about in the newspaper, apparently. Sam. There's our effects technician. Couldn't make it today for this commentary. So, this movie started out, I guess I'd say, I wrote the first script for this in 2008, in summer of 2008. And I think I wrote it more for fun. Then I ended up saying I wanted to make it. And then it kind of took on. Oh, Norman Bates died. That's sad. Yay! Carmelo Signo. That's everybody's favorite part of the movie. And yeah, it just took me a ton of years to work on it because we just finished it last year. But essentially, it started out as that. There's a lot of footage, even footage from 2008 of me, really young. And there's even footage from 2010 with Uriel and Brian Daly, who plays Bill in the movie, playing Sam's part. So we're getting on to our first scene right here.
Yeah, if you really listen closely, you can kind of pinpoint, where we hadn't quite hit puberty yet.
Yeah, that transition actually somehow worked. Transitioning into the backpack as he walked away. That's some terribly dubbed dialogue right there. Uriel and his kind of mohawk going.
Yeah, just my hair. Continuity in this film was just terrible.
His hair's like this in one scene. In this one scene, we shot another scene with the hair like that, but we cut it out.
You'll see.
Yeah, but this is actually the second time we shot this scene. First time was in 2010. We had Brian filming, because Brian played, like I said, he played Sam's character. Here's Mizba being indecisive on where to point the camera. He's like, should I follow Justin now, or? This is some old footage here. You can tell by the quality, the shift in quality. Oh, obligatory noodle cameo. Reference to my first film, The Killer Noodle, and I try to do that in every one of my movies. I just realized I forgot to do that for Don't Fear the Reaper. But I try to put a noodle in all my movies. But this footage is from 2010. And I shot it with my old video camera, which is why it looks totally different and a lot worse. Also, I'd like to point out that this cut of this movie is actually a bit different than the cut that's on YouTube. There's one scene difference that comes up right after this. But essentially, yeah, so I found this box by being the clumsiest guy in the world. That's how I did it. That's how this whole movie got started.
What a dumbass.
Thanks. That was dubbed. This one scene coming up here is new. Not new, but it's different than the version that's on YouTube. The footage of me.
Bates is an old friend.
My dad.
Away just a little while ago.
playing my character's dad. That's all dubbed. It's kind of weird how we dubbed that scene, but whatever. So you remember Uriel had like that mohawk in the previous scene? Well, his hair changes, I guess, in like a day. Because there it is. A full head of hair. Look at that. And there's no TV in that room. That glow from the TV, quote unquote TV, is actually me shining a flashlight next to the camera. Remember how hard that was? That took forever to shoot that one shot.
We pulled it off and it looked...
It actually does look decent. And that phone ringtone, that's my actual ringtone. The Halloween theme. Had thrown a nod to that movie. But that shot took forever to do, because I had to like call the phone, I had to keep the light steady on the side of the camera.
Yeah, I remember we had a hard time with that one.
In the raw footage, you can hear the flashlight like, grinding against the camera. But is that the script sitting on the side there? Let's see. I don't think the shot's gonna be the same. Looks like the script was sitting on the side there. It wouldn't surprise me if it was.
This movie, who knows?
I'm wearing a shirt backwards because I didn't have a gray shirt. I'm just saying. I don't know why I thought of that.
Budget cuts.
But
plain gray shirt just wasn't in the budget.
no, not that day. And then some actual foreshadowing to the end of the movie. What goes on in that room. And then there's me looking a lot younger. This is 2009 when that footage was shot. But I didn't want to reshoot it. I just wanted to keep it in. I don't know, just to show like how long it took me to work on this movie.
Not noticeable at all, though.
No, not one bit. But that was just to like establish where I was going for the audience. That's why I turned on the light for a second and turned it back off. But just to tell the audience where I was going. And then there we go, dark for a second. But yeah, that footage is from 2009. So, but then that footage transitions. This is 2009. And then it transitions into 2010 with the next cut. Right about there. Luckily I had the same shirt still. And this is the scene where I did not have time to go in and redub it. So my voice sounds different in this scene than I sound in the whole entire movie. So it's kind of... Yeah, I want to go back and... I don't know like a good way to get footage from this old camera onto the computer in good enough quality. But when I find out, I'm going to go back and like re-edit that because this scene's really low quality. Thank you for narrating over that. I like the music. The whole music in this movie is taken from the Psycho score and the Psycho 2 score. Which is weird because they're totally different scores. I somehow got them to mesh together to where they actually kind of go together.
Yeah, it sounds good with this movie.
Surprising. This movie is so much better with the music. When I first watched like a rough cut of this film, it didn't have music. And it was such an awkward experience, and I felt so disappointed. I thought the movie was a failure.
Yeah, it was a little rough without the score.
It was very rough.
Music makes all the difference.
It really does. But you got me talking here like I did in 2010. I should have redubbed this. I just didn't get around to it. It kind of annoys me. I wish I had. But coming up over here next is a pretty funny scene. It just seems only like maybe a minute long, but it took like 2 hours to shoot, thanks to you and Sam.
Oh my god.
And the Ford Focus.
Ford Focus.
Oh.
This guy could be my dad. Come on,
Transition.
I don't know. You sound weird.
This was an ordeal.
Yeah. This whole scene right here is dubbed. Because you dubbed 2 versions of What Does That Mean? The version of the trailer, Uriel goes,
A little more ominous.
yeah, he goes, what does that mean? So this whole scene's redubbed. And here's our nice jump scare. It's got a lot of people at the premiere, so I felt really proud when I did it. Thanks for laughing in the shot. Why don't they just walk around them? Why do you have to like, there's so much extra space on the road. And there's me walking off camera to turn the camera. Then we get to film that really quickly because there are people walking behind us.
Yeah.
So, nice quick scene. That took how long? It's 2 hours.
All afternoon.
Yeah, because we had like... Ooh, this is Ben dubbing you. But for that scene we had to get Sam to kind of like burst through us. He was crawling on the ground next to us as we were walking, and then gets up and crashes through us, which took forever to get.
Cause his ass kept coming into the frame.
It did.
I remember.
That shot is zoomed in actually. That's why it's all blurry. Cause we had to zoom it in on the computer to get his butt out of there. Interesting scene though. Like I said, at the premiere, they got a pretty good jump from the audience. I'm like, yeah, we did our job. There's a secret compartment. If you look closely, the costume and wig are sitting in the back there. It's right there. I totally forgot about that. They're just sitting right there.
Poisoned his mother and her boyfriend.
Weird.
Then he dressed up in her clothes.
But I like this scene.
And murdered
That
her
part was
at
pretty
the
well
hotel
done.
he were in.
And I don't like
Then
me
he inflicted
acting.
deaths on her.
Okay.
Man, this guy is crazy.
Look at that.
Brilliant.
Creep.
Hello, William.
What's funny about this footage is,
You aren't like my
because you see, this is my grandma.
being.
This is Carmelo Signo doing the voice of Mother. Probably one of the like best parts of this movie everybody loves. But this footage of me, like, you know, lying in bed, listening, like, hearing the dialogue, we actually had Ben say those lines while the camera's rolling. So on the rough footage, you hear Ben's deep voice saying, "Get some sleep. You need rest, my grandson." And it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. Oh, we were introduced here to Sam's character. Oh, we were introduced in another scene. Never mind. But God, this was one of the last scenes shot. This was shot on Christmas Eve, and this movie was supposed to be released Christmas Day. Ooh, foreshadowing. But this is one of the last scenes we shot for the movie, so you can tell because Sam's hair is very long. All the recent footage of Sam's hair is extremely long and doesn't match anything in the whole movie. And then here we are actually introduced to Brian's character, Bill. Kind of introduced the relationship between these characters that we're building. This whole thing was kind of added in later. The whole story of them like being friends and having a falling out was kind of added in later, which is why the movie feels a little jumbled. I feel once we get to the first scene, oh, the picture is gone. Anyway, I feel, oh God, me acting. Let's just ignore this scene. But I feel the movie picks up. I feel the movie picks up after Sam gets kidnapped and Sami gets killed. I feel that. Sami. We'll have to get to him. But I feel that's when the movie starts picking up. And this was some of the last stuff we ever shot for the movie as well. This was shot Christmas night. And that was all just me with the camera on a tripod. These were reshoots. The original versions of these scenes of me talking to Mother didn't make any sense. Because the camera was on me, and you heard her voice off camera. And it just didn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I went back and shot it with, like, so you see the back of me whenever Mother's talking. And I actually feel they're kind of cool. They had a creepy vibe to them. Much better than the original versions. I look really hunched over in that shot. It's kind of weird. Just saying.
Quasimodo.
That's what I was thinking. Mini montage. So I say around here is when the movie really picks up and starts flowing better. The pacing feels really off in the beginning part, I feel. Because it keeps cutting back and forth between these characters we don't know. But it's just, that's why. But once this gets going, and this, oh my God, this footage outside, that was some of the hardest stuff we had to shoot for the movie. Because this was December last year, and last year was one of the worst winters ever.
That was ridiculous.
That was painful standing out there filming him getting on a bike. And then that's him 2013. This is 2011. Right here. This stuff is 2011. Sam doesn't talk, so you can't hear his voice. But this was another reshoot. The basement footage. You can tell because Sami's his voice is deeper. He's a little bit bigger. That's Sami. Our actor, who we kind of cast last minute.
He's actually being nominated for an Oscar for this
Oh,
film.
actually, yeah. Best supporting actor. I wanted him to get best actor, but they didn't feel he was that best actor material. But this whole thing was reshot. The first time we shot the scene, it just did not work out. We had to change we shot it in Ben's room. So it was shot in like a small square. And it's really awkward. So we totally reshot it.
I'm gonna go see what's up with the power.
So yeah. But Sami,
Who's coming down the stairs?
To me, by the end of production, became really cool.
Michael, is it your mom? No. Hey, who's
He
there?
really just didn't want to be there because he was Mizbo's brother, and he just did not want to be there.
No way.
But by the end of production, he was actually really funny, and he was goofing around during this whole scene, like having a good time. And I was like, why weren't you like this the whole movie? Because we shot a good amount of stuff with him. Nope, there's my feet. But yeah, now this is 2011. This is back to the old stuff. You can tell because he's a bit skinnier, and he sounds younger. Oh, Sam in the mirror, in the reflection. Not the mirror, the door. He's standing there filming. I always love that blooper. This was one of the first things I ever shot for the movie. There's Ben. That was Ben dubbing in the scream. Ben does all the screams in this movie. So. And the knife hitting the body. That's just us putting the knife in the pocket of a sweatshirt. That's all it is.
Grandma! Grandma! Grandma!
My.
Where are you?
Ew.
Grandma! Where are you?
So this whole scene is like a shot-for-shot recreation from the original Psycho. 'Cause do you remember shooting this? We had this scene on the computer before we shot it.
Yeah, I remember. You
Music and this shot right here is right out of the
Yeah.
original Psycho.
little homage to the original.
Yeah. It worked pretty well. I liked it. And like I said, the music is the exact way it was in that scene as well. There's a few of those spread throughout this movie. And they're good throwbacks to the original. This is our fake body we had to make that doesn't have a head. And we didn't really frame the shot that right. For the most part, that part's not so good. Because all the clothes is hanging out of the pants. But aside from that, that dummy wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Could have been worse. But I like this little scene. I think this was added in. This wasn't in the script either. A lot of stuff wasn't in the script. A lot of stuff got changed for this movie. And then one shot coming up here. We shot on Christmas Eve. You can hear the bells on the door. And this shot right here was shot by my aunt. Which is why she gets a special credit at the end.
Huh.
Because she's one of the few people not involved in the movie that shot a scene. And you can see snow really quickly in that shot there. That shot's right out of Psycho as well. I'm not sure if you can really tell, but my face looks really dirty in this shot. It's because earlier that morning I shot all my death scenes. All my death scene footage of me spitting out blood. So it's all dried blood on my face. But, yeah. This was added in too. Then we cut the stock footage, actually. We cut the behind the scenes footage that we just used in the movie. And that's coming up right here. You can probably hear the audio jump. Right there. This is Sam's hand.
Yeah.
And you can see the white stuff on there. That's styrofoam. That's from we were stabbing the styrofoam body for Uriel's death scene. And I was just filming him washing the blood off the knife, and I'm like, this looks good. I'm gonna use it in the movie. So, using our resources. Yeah. I just don't like to watch me act. Dark Knight Rises wallpaper. How old is that?
It really kind of dates the movie, doesn't it?
Deathmaster 4 reference. Oh, and Miller Brothers reference. The Miller Brothers are the bad guys in Psychos. So, actually, this footage of the computer screen.
Those pictures, they always just get me.
This footage of the computer screen, all that stuff was shot in southern Illinois at my grandma's house a few days before Christmas. Kind of weird. Oh, this is our camera trick. Oh. Only us two were there filming that day.
Some fancy maneuvers.
So when the shot was on Uriel, I was turning the camera, then I stopped, got in position. Uriel walked behind the camera and turned it for the rest of the way. That's how we shot a lot of these early scenes with just me and you. Oh my god, the thing's back. Oh. That other close-up was a reshoot, because in the original shot, when I picked up the backpack, you can see the mother costume sitting under it. I like your reaction right there. This is reshoots as well. The closest of the hand. That's my hand.
Can barely tell.
Because the original version was so obvious. Do you remember what it was? The lock pick was inside a pair of handcuffs.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it's so obvious. I'm like, that's just stupid. So yeah, I reshot the close-ups like that. And then this is you. There's you. Luckily, like, there's a light shining right on us right there, so you can't really tell the skin color difference.
Hair looks the same.
Yeah. Majority of the movie, you have that shorter hair cut. For me, you can never really tell when my hair changes. Oh, ignore the snow. Ignore the snow.
What snow?
I don't know what you're talking. I don't know. There's no snow in this shot, or all the Christmas decorations as well. This was a last-minute thing. Why couldn't it have been like this year? There's like no snow out. But yeah, that was the one scene we had to shoot to introduce John's character. John was a very last-minute addition to the cast. He shot he shot his scenes like 2 months before the movie like came out.
Hello? Is anyone there?
This scene is funny because Sam changes between young Sam. Oh, ignore the tape on the table, which disappears like in the next shot. Where is it? God. Magic.
What's going on?
You can tell it's older Sam because he gets more dramatic
Look at my arm.
with his older performances.
Just broke one of your.
But there's young looking Sam from 2011, and this is 2013 Sam.
I'm going to make you suffer.
Look at the hole in my
I think
costume.
one of them actually had braces. And the other one didn't.
Yes, that is true.
Friends will be too
That
once
is-
I'm done with them.
No.
I remember showing there's probably Sam's water bottle when we were filming.
Juicy.
This was one of the first scenes I showed to my family, and they loved it because they loved hearing my grandma's voice over the footage of me. Like, that's so cool.
What are
It's
you
like, yep.
talking about?
You don't need to know that right now.
Oh, it's supposed to be nighttime in this. Also, ignore that. This was a lot of last minute stuff. This was Christmas Eve actually again. So, kind of ignore that. Also, John's hair gets shorter. And also, now it's nighttime. Magic. And it's my house, and it should be a different house. So ignore that as well. Ignore a lot of things in this movie, please. This is John's death. This was originally our friend Perry. Played this character.
Perry.
Yeah. Oh, that was a fake jump scare. I kind of like this scene because it's kind of our reverse shower scene. You know?
Yeah, I like that. He's coming out of the shower instead.
And there's our believable styrofoam head. Can't even tell it's a styrofoam head. It's perfect. This audio had to be redone in that shot because I started laughing. Because this did not, I didn't expect it to turn out the way it did. Basically, there's a tube going up his arm. It's spraying out water with red food coloring. While Sam is actually in the shower pumping the blood.
Turned out pretty good though.
Yeah. Introduction to Police Chief Brody. The man of the hour. And Officer Mills. So, Police Chief Brody is played by Shane Diaz. And Officer Mills is played by Chris Sanders. Now, as of this recording, those two actors have still never met each other. So, yeah.
What do you got there, Mills?
This is some tricky editing.
It's another teenager.
Oh. I thought this scene turned out really good, though, editing-wise.
It did. It
Person's bathroom.
can.
At Sam's shoulder. Yeah, this scene is... Huh? Sorry.
Checking on it.
Okay. This scene was really surprising at how, like, it worked. Because you can actually really... It does really feel like they're in the same shot. Yeah, other times didn't work out as well. But I love... Honestly, the reason why I casted these two people in the movie is because I wanted to see them act together. I didn't really get it, my wish, kind of. Not really. But I just wanted to see them in the same room together. That would have been so cool. Because they're two of the coolest guys. So I'm like, let's get them together. That'd be awesome. And this montage, this montage, you actually heard what they were saying originally. So like, Uriel is actually saying lines right here. He's not just babbling. And then this scene is like right out of Psych. Mizbah just kept messing up. That's Mizbah, by the way. And Brian got a haircut. And this is right out of Psycho. There's this montage of him going to of the private detective going to other motels, and then when it cuts to Norman Bates, he's sitting just like that, reading a magazine. So that's like a shot-for-shot recreation of Psycho. So, and this is the only time you see Chris and another actor in the same frame.
I'm Officer Mills.
He never shot a scene with anybody.
Investigating the disappearance of 3 people.
Yeah, I remember he was always kind of hard to get a hold of.
He was, one of the hardest people to get a hold of.
I'm looking for 3 people.
So,
Tommy Moore.
so every other scene is shot except for like that scene of him talking to Uriel.
Yeah, you
Uriel
witnessed
never
the
talked to him.
We have
Yeah.
reason to believe that 3 of them were
I've never actually even met him.
right
So
now, all I'm
The only like cast members that met him is Ben and Sam, because Sam was there when we shot that.
When was the last time that you saw them?
Continuity error. That painting in the background. If you look in the next couple close-ups, it has wrapping paper over it, because I shot my close-ups
John
later.
Grant told me that the 2 of you
Bloopers.
and Tommy Moore were walking home from school.
But he's really good. He's done other movies, not real movies, but other stuff before. But he's awesome.
Do you have a problem with Tommy Moore?
No.
I'm getting more intense.
Is there something you're not telling me?
See?
whoa.
Close.
You don't remember walking home 3 days ago?
The best part right here. Oh, this whole little bit for me is all improv. And if you listen, it goes on for much longer than it should.
So
And
then there's
right after I
something
said my
you should
line,
tell me.
Chris just stopped and I was like, "What? Huh?" And he just went, "You improv the shit out of that."
What you're going to
Because he was not expecting me to do that.
no mention of
But
Rob,
these close-ups of me right there are shot later,
Nothing.
just to save time,
and you know nothing
so we can
about
just focus
Rob.
all on Chris's stuff. And Chris only shot for 2 days.
Even the halls at school.
Those 2 days were spread over like a year, but
Getting anything.
Yeah.
he only shot like 2 physical days of filming on this movie.
Thanks for your
So
help.
it's a little bit less than what you shot on this movie, right?
Just a little.
Just a tad. I did wish. I mean, there's not too much. No offense to these actors. There's not too much to talk about in this scene, aside from some errors where I wish we were able to dub the dialogue. But
Who's doing
this is only one of like the only couple scenes that weren't not shot at my house. Everything is shot in or around my house. This is shot at Mizba's house, and the stuff of Sam leaving his house was shot at his house.
Whoever did this, I'm gonna get them.
I don't know why, but every time I cut to a different angle in the scene. I don't know what I was doing, what was wrong with me, but it's really awkward, and I don't like this scene. I'm just gonna say that.
Some
Like every angle is every cut is a different angle, and I don't like it. It's too different. See,
some Michael Bay techniques.
that's not a good thing to be saying.
Been watching too much Transformers.
This scene didn't really make. I was trying to get more for him to do,
Here, I'll show you.
but this didn't really work. Is there another scene in this cut? I don't know. What? I don't get it. It was okay. I don't know. Just a little funny bit. This is one of the early scenes. I remember actually posting a rough cut of this scene on Facebook, actually. But it was missing this footage, but it was just the stuff of him on the phone with Shane. But I should say what I was trying to do with this movie, but we didn't end up working because we ended up cutting out a lot of your scenes. No offense, but because they just didn't work with the movie. We were cutting out your scenes, but didn't have time to shoot new ones.
Yeah.
And that kind of messed up because your character was supposed to be like the Janet Leigh of this movie. You're the friend character, and then you find out everything. So then when you die, you think that you're gonna confront me in the third act, but then you die right before the third act. But it didn't necessarily come out that way in the final cut. That's what kind of annoys me a bit. But that was always my intention, was to make you like you're the main character of this movie. You know? You're the one who's discovering everything.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to be a surprise when all of a sudden you die and you're like, oh, there's still some movie left. So. This is
It came as a shock to some of the viewers.
yeah. And then if you look, this shot would look really good except for hood on, hood off. Or other way around. But you know what I mean. It almost looks like it was like one shot from 2 different angles. Aside from the camera. That was sped up. And that was cropped because in the raw footage, Brian is lying there all relaxed and calm, with his head on his arm, and just like, And then nobody noticed this though,
I was attacked by the person who I think.
but his hair kind of changes by a tad.
Rob's dead body, and right after
Just
it was weird.
A tad.
keep watching.
Dress up like an old woman.
You'll see it.
Well, no, it already happened. His hair was. He had like almost no hair in the last scene.
See, I missed it.
You couldn't
barely
tell. This was also shot separately.
It was all too fast.
Shane never really interacted with anybody on this movie either. Shane was another one. Shane was hard to get to film, so a lot of his stuff was shot separately. So he never acted with Brian in this whole movie.
Sorry.
Ew, I like these scenes because they're well put together, but I just hate me acting, so I don't like them. I like them and I don't.
That's how I feel about this whole movie.
That's how I feel about my performance in this whole movie. Oh, hair's gone.
There we go.
There you are. Yeah, we didn't dub this scene. We didn't have time, so that's why.
The ice cream truck in the background. Also forgot to turn my shirt inside out, so you see the.
Yeah, you did. If you
It's alright,
like,
though.
I thought you didn't see this, but you can kind of make out. I'm wearing pajama pants right there.
What kind of pajama pants are those?
Mario.
Mario.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm supposed to be wearing pants. Because you come talk to me.
Oh, hair grows.
Hair grew.
Hair grows at an excessive rate once again.
Remember we kept messing up in this?
Yeah, I just couldn't.
I don't know
You know,
what.
I couldn't enter through the door like correctly for some reason.
This is one of the first stuff we ever shot for this movie. Tell because it's tripod and it's really wide shots.
Wasn't there actually a ghost? Some ghost
We-
audio in this?
We think so.
Yeah, but what, you think I did it?
Wow.
Where is it?
Well, what? I didn't do it. Just because I'm
My voice is higher in this too. But wait,
First,
here.
you find the box. Then Tommy goes missing. And now
That
all
okay?
this
We don't know who said that. So just saying.
stuff. Why is this happening?
Kind of sounds like me, but I don't think I would have said that.
I think it was aliens.
I thought it was ghosts. Do you remember how hard it was for it to get like, the eye line to work?
Yeah.
Because you kept looking at the camera, and not like at the angle. But this is also the last scenes in this movie are combinations of like different time periods.
Yeah.
This is again 2011. Some of the earliest stuff we shot for this movie. We shot most of your scenes early on. Remember? Because you're in a lot of them. But then this stuff's new. This is from 2013. And this is close-ups of my hands. Because this scene was really slow and kind of boring. So I wanted to, like, add more to it. So I added some close-ups of you looking to the stuff, which is me. Again, playing you. Luckily, Ben had a sweatshirt jacket thing that looked just like that.
Wasn't there a change in the camera that you used also?
Not in this one.
Really?
No.
I could have sworn there was.
Oh, there was at the beginning. That footage at the beginning that was in widescreen.
It's just like some of this like footage, like the newer stuff looks a little clearer.
Yeah. And then this was something I knew that was added in. It's kind of add suspense. If you look in the wide shots, I never cropped it, but I don't have anything in my hands. Ignore that. But it worked. My cousin at the premiere during this part was going, oh, oh, just waiting. But I like-
box cutter.
But I like that because it added more suspense to just like a mundane scene of you looking through stuff.
Yeah.
That was really pointless. In the long run, nothing pays off in this scene. So I wanted to like do some suspense. Like, oh, I'm actually thinking about killing you now. Sounds like I say cut for some reason. Sounds like I go like, oh, cut.
Well, what are you doing?
Yay! My mom's little appearance in the movie.
Okay.
That's about it, but she's there.
Hey, you want to stay for lunch?
Oh god, that was terribly dubbed. Your hair shorter.
Me and my hair, dude.
Hey, put that box away.
I look at the camera and I walk past it. You see that?
Hey, Will, can you get the skillet that's near the crawl space?
Oh, jump cut. Cause like I stood there for too much longer. The audio didn't match her audio.
I don't know why you would need a skillet for milking sandwiches.
That is true.
It's alright.
Well, maybe she was making dinner. Didn't I say stay for lunch or did I say stay for dinner?
You said lunch. I
You know
think.
what? Nobody's gonna remember. It's okay.
You kill him.
It's okay. He doesn't know anything.
Ew.
Yeah, right.
Here's my Halloween poster. I like that a lot.
Hey,
I look so. Oh my god, you see how tired I look in these shots?
What?
I look like exhausted. If you look, I look like crap because I was staying up till like 4 o'clock every night working on this movie those days.
No, I won't. There's nothing wrong
So
with it.
I was tired.
All that last minute editing got to you.
It did. I do look really bad in this. I just realized that.
Just think
Look like I haven't slept in days because I barely did.
We didn't have any makeup artists to, cover up the crow's feet or anything like that.
No. Is this?
just thought I'd read the latest
Yeah. This shows last minute editing. This scene's not in the cut on YouTube. You know why? Because I forgot to put it in there when I was editing. So, this is a new scene, kind of. In a way. I totally forgot. This annoys me about this one scene, is the fact that we shot it in my room. Because we didn't have any other locations. But it's clearly the room that Will was in earlier on in the movie.
Yeah.
And that annoys me so much. But, and then I didn't even have Photoshop at the time. I did this on PowerPoint. It's so obvious, this picture.
I've got to tell John about this.
It's like Sam's modern face photoshopped onto it. That is his younger body. So, we explain it later on, the fact that we were friends as kids, and it didn't work out. Nope. Getting to your final moments. This dub is pretty well. This is Ben dubbing you. That's not too bad. Remember we shot this over 2 days? We shot this thing twice. We shot it with just me and you. You and Sam kept saying bingo, and then we went back for some reshoots so we can actually move the camera because we had Sam. So
What do we keep saying?
you kept saying bingo,
Oh yeah.
bingo. But remember, this was shot twice because we wanted to get some more camera movements. So then Sam was there, so we shot some extra footage. This is us. This is just me and you filming. This is me with the video camera watching you, then you with the video camera pointing at me. So
Do you ever get a good look at the Burger King bag?
you do a little bit later on in a minute. So if I cut out, right
There
there.
it is. Nice.
Paid from Burger King. Not
Product placement.
Not really. They didn't pay us anything. They're gonna sue us tomorrow, so don't worry. Also for that Star Wars shirt I was wearing earlier, I think they're gonna sue us for that as well. Disney.
Wasn't there Pokemon merchandise inside of that?
Yeah, there was. It's Pokemon stuff. It's just a bag that's sitting around there. And this is actually my next door neighbor's shed. They let us shoot there. Remember we had the big spotlights shining
I
on
remember
it?
that.
That was cool.
The big floodlights.
Yeah, floodlights, basically. And there was some dialogue between us that I just kind of cut out because it was really stupid. And then that fade was supposed to be a passage of time. So, in the script, it was really stupid. I put there and I said "Oh, I brought you some dinner," and Sam goes I don't want any. And I go "Fine," and I get up and leave. And I'm that's stupid. So I just cut that out. So you must have just been standing there for a while.
Yeah, just a couple hours.
I liked the music earlier. I forgot to mention that. Ignore the flash white on the side of the screen. And but I liked the music earlier during the chase scene. Not chase scene, the following scene. I thought that music was good. And this shows you can pick a lock with anything. I don't know what that was. What was that? It was on your keychain. I don't know.
I think it was just a key that was obviously way too big to fit in that key.
It was just a piece of metal, kind of. But it worked. But you were just I got this. I'm alright, we'll use that.
Yeah, I mean, who knew I was an
Then-
expert lock picker?
Lights right there, quickly. We cut to the basement. Not basement, garage. So, should we mention this scene? This was shot in January. There's actually snow outside during this footage.
Any idea who's
This
doing
is-
this?
This is brutal.
One of the most brutal days of filming. Because we had to wear these short sleeve shirts. That shirt's really tight on you.
Yeah, it was extra small.
It
It
was.
was your shirt, I think.
Yeah. So this was one of the, we were so, our hands were so numb after this.
I think if you see closely, you can see that the garage door was actually open.
It was.
So, we weren't any warmer.
No.
Because the door was closed.
Every time we cut, we threw on jackets. And we only had one glove to share.
Yeah, we were sharing a glove.
One glove.
Kind of sad, but
We went in later for these close-ups, though.
What'd you say about being stronger than me?
Because because the blood capsules we had didn't work.
Oh,
So you kind of just like spit a tiny bit of blood. It was like.
those tasted terrible.
So we went back later and you just drank some fake blood, just spit it out. And the reason
Licorice.
and the reason why we cut to another angle right away is because you started laughing right after you spit out the blood the first take. You're like,
Yeah.
Are you okay?
so we had to redo that. I love this shot. This is probably one of my favorite shots in the movie. Just kind of panning down. And this is all like homemade effects as well. This is all like cardboard substituting. So I love this scene personally. I think it's great. And this scene was shot over like 5 different days, actually. I forgot. I actually counted. It was like 5 or 6 separate occasions we shot footage for this scene.
Yeah, I remember. It took a while to.
It's a bunch of different days combined into one. I'm actually smiling during all this, and
Yeah, you can kind of tell.
and Sam said the way he liked it. I love that. That's the on-set audio of Styrofoam just being stabbed, and we left it in. But I was smiling, and it's kind of hard to take this seriously when it's just Sam kneeling under you with a paintbrush, flicking blood in your face.
Yeah.
It's
that
hard to
was
take it
A
seriously.
little goofy, but
That's why I'm laughing in those earlier takes. And in those those shots of him just kind of sitting there with the blood coming out of his mouth. During the premiere, my uncle was just like, "He's still alive?"
yeah, I was that character that just would not die.
You lose a lot of blood.
Yeah,
And
a
then
couple pints.
a couple, you know. And then, oh, my shadow. Oh, I hate that shot. Anyway, this is a big plot hole. Why does Sam just sit there the whole time?
Just waits till after I'm dead to grab the pocket knife right next to him.
And you're really good at playing
shoot
dead,
himself.
by the way. You're
Thank
good at
you.
playing dead. A lot of times I was just sitting there with the camera on. You're just like, this is awesome. Stay there. And I was just filming you playing dead.
I was lying on like a really uncomfortable toolbox.
That was. Oh. Everybody loved that. The cracking of the hands. And this was shot separately.
No, John.
Sam was shot separately than you.
John.
Like, this is my arms on
Oh,
you.
yeah, I remember this.
It got to me, and then, yeah. We had to shoot that separately. But it worked out pretty well. A lot of this movie was shot separately, actually, which is pretty crazy. How much of it was shot at different times. You know?
Yeah.
And then we get to Sleepwalking Sam. This footage sounds like really early in the morning with the birds chirping. Because it was. It was shot at like 5 in the morning. And Uriel and I stayed up for that.
Yeah, we just didn't go to sleep. We just
Yeah.
kind of stayed up. And Sam actually was the one that passed out. And he was a little irritable in the morning.
Yeah.
Had woken him up to start filming the footage. And I don't think he remembers any of that footage.
No, he doesn't remember filming any of that. Like when he woke up after because after he filmed it, we went back to the house and he went back to sleep. And the next morning he's like, he was worried that we didn't shoot. And well, we shot it. He's like, what? So apparently he was sleepwalking that whole scene. Who would have known? And is this coming up? No, we still have the phone. No, we still have a couple scenes.
Coffee ready yet? No. You shave your face yet? No. You should.
The shave your face line is because we were gonna shoot the scene coming up with Ben as Officer Sullivan, and he had like a beard at the time, but he doesn't have a beard in the climax, which we had already shot like a year before. So that was our joke. But then he shaved before filming, so it ended up being pointless. So that did you shave your face yet? Joke is pointless now.
Yeah.
I was being held
But we tried.
in the shed.
For some reason the camera setting was weird, so that's why this scene is kind of off and weirdly colored.
He got stabbed.
And like the movements are kind of like weird.
Yeah, it seems a little shaky.
Yeah,
By who?
the setting was all off. But this seems good. This is just like the office in my like house. Yeah, we set up to make it look like a police chief's office, and I like it.
John showed up.
We can tell this is later footage because Sam's hair is extremely long. He grew his hair out in between the run, I guess.
An old lady?
There's the line coming up here that everybody laughs at.
Really
Where was-
my arm up.
Right here. I totally didn't hear this.
Come with me. Let's get you some stitches.
Stitches. You're gonna just get some stitches on that arm, right? Because that's
Yeah.
perfect. It's only a broken arm. You can get stitches. Totally missed that line when he first read that. When he did that. I missed it until the premiere, honestly.
Yeah, he's gonna need a couple band-aids or two.
I'm not eating anything. It's an empty bowl.
Eating Air.
Getting my fill of air for the day.
Budget cuts, man. I'm telling you, you couldn't even.
From our no budget to begin with. Budget
Yeah.
cuts.
Hey, did you go through the box?
Ignore the Christmas tree.
You know, the one with baits written on
Be
it?
there. This is early stuff, but too. And look, I was wearing a totally different shirt than I was in that earlier footage. In the raw footage, I go, I'm fine. My dad's like, whoa, oh, okay. I'm wearing my Joker shirt there, and then a totally different shirt in this shot. Just thought I'd bring it up. And then, is this where we added in the laugh?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Knows what?
When she goes, like, don't worry, I'll take care of it. That laugh was an outtake that I just put in there because it just was really creepy. But yeah, that was added in just to kind of,
What you do about
so right around here.
I'll take care of it.
Oh no, I didn't put it. I cut it out of here, but I put it somewhere else in the movie. There's another moment where I added in her laugh, and it was kind of done just to like, cause it's a really creepy laugh. So ignore that, folks. This scene people bought, which I'm good, because I didn't think they would. I don't know if it made sense. Like, why would he know that there's a costume in the box? But
Oh, no.
during the premiere, people were like, uh-oh, when that happens. I'm like, okay, they bought it. I'm good. I'm not going to question it. And that shot was a reshoot. Because the first time he walked up, it was out of sync, and he stood there, like, standing there waiting for a minute, and then I came in. It didn't matter. This is, like, the infamous scene that everybody loves. Dad.
Good old Howie.
Getting the knife in the mouth. I also love this scene too. There's a lot of great moments in this movie. Even, you know, I had issues. That could have been reshot. But everybody asks how we do that. I made a cardboard cutout, like, replica of my knife and just cut it into pieces.
You can hear that paint drip on the cardboard underneath.
You
your
can.
feet.
You can. I thought I cut that out, but I didn't. But that's what it is, essentially. But yeah, like, that's just the blade of a knife in his mouth, and we just poured blood in there, and he just kind of moved and it fell out. Simple as that. Then coming up here, I showed this footage, even though it was spoilers, to my family. And this is the moment that showed my family that this is more than just a hobby of mine. And this is when he falls out down the stairs. Because when we cut to him falling down the stairs, there's me. And that's me doing the actual fall. Up until right there. And I showed that to my family, and they couldn't believe it. I think that's the moment where they're just like, oh, this is more than just like a thing you do for fun, huh? So.
We spent the entire budget on a stunt double for that scene.
And it was me. I paid myself for the whole thing.
Yeah.
See, there he has the beard. See Ben's beard right there? That's the beard he had, and we were going to shoot Sully scenes like that.
This is probably in the fall, wasn't it?
That was fall. That was November. This is December because of the snow.
No Shave November.
Yeah.
You're lucky you didn't.
But here the eye line is really off. Because Shane couldn't stand where we needed him to, because you see all the snow in the background. So we had to, like, fix it to right here. And that's Ben playing Shane right there. And we just dubbed over Shane. That was actually really good. But this scene was fun. This scene was the inside when Sully pops up. He was supposed to be talking to Officer Mills. We just couldn't shoot them together. So,
Hey, Chief.
Officer Sullivan!
You looked up William Pierce.
And the whole idea, like, Sully's character was just like an unnamed cop who appeared at the end. And then we're just like, well, we should give him a character. So we gave him this scene and named him. In the original script, like, he wasn't in the script. In the original, like, first time he shot the footage, he was just cop number 1.
Bayside, who's adopted by the Pierce family.
And ignore
Cop number 1.
the stockings in the background. Not supposed to be Christmas time. He said that really quietly. And then we get to psychiatrist, played by Jill. Everybody found that funny because they're married, so in real life, or they were engaged at this time of filming. So this is kind of our exposition scene, just to explain the whole relationship between Sam and me. Basically, this is like the scene in Psycho when the guy explains the whole backstory of, like, Norman Bates. That long exposition scene, except we put it in the middle. Not in the middle, but near the end. Not right at the end. So am I saying I did something better than Hitchcock? No. But, no, I'm not.
This is not the Miller Brothers and
Oh! Miller Brothers. Psycho's reference. Foreshadow. There's another one coming up right here. And then Deathmaster 4, which is our big reference throughout our movie universe. Ignore the play button in the top.
I just thought this was hilarious. I was in the original audio for this. I was just losing it. I don't know why.
You sitting off to the side, and every time this laugh came on, you just died.
I just thought it was funny for some reason.
This footage was shot in like 2008 for Deathmaster 4 trailer, and I just re-edited it into like a modern version. There's the Linville Productions logo and the Survival Review logo. Then we got our Hitchcock reference. This is the movie, one of his first movies called The Lodger, and it's his first like true Hitchcockian movie, his first like suspense film. So, and it's public domain, so you can't sue me there, which is good. But you couldn't take this. That was hilarious. The outtakes of you just going. And we're introduced to our news anchor, Pastor Joe, future star PJ.
A developing story.
And then
The notorious Miller brothers were found in their hideout.
where is it?
And are
Miller Brothers. That's our big reference to the sequel, the foreshadowing. So we shot those like right as we cast them. We took those pictures. But yeah, there's some good foreshadowing. I love some good foreshadowing, unless it's not excessive. But I think that was the one thing I remember talking to my friend. It's like a guy I had like just met him around like the time I was finishing up Psycho 5, and like after the movie, that's a terrible picture of me. But anyway, after the movie came out, after Christmas break, like I saw him at school, and he's like, the first thing he said was, "You got like a lot of people in your movie." No, yeah, that is true. Like I got a lot of like resources, which is it helps out the movie a lot.
Yeah.
It just helps adding to it. Like just having him playing a news reporter for like one scene, and I'm like, that is true. Like he's like, I did not expect that. I can barely get anybody for my movies. So
Yeah, we did have a pretty decent sized cast.
yeah, for this movie, yeah, there's a lot of people, especially for this one because a lot of people have screen time. Psycho's had a big cast, but everybody was like appears sporadically and it's really quick. In this one, we have people appearing constantly. Like the fact that we got Shane and Chris to play characters who appear constantly is like pretty crazy. And not the smartest thing because it took them forever. You're not in the movie anymore. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, I'm
Miss
just
you.
kind of-
Yeah, I guess I will.
Well, you were here on set during that. You were sitting off to the side. We have raw footage of that. We're like, after like I yelled cut it, I turned the camera to you and you're just kind of sitting there. And this is our climax. One of like the most this was annoying. This was hard because there were so many different people involved. Music playing in the background from Psycho 3. And then some of this stuff was new. We had to dub that footage of Brian. I bet you couldn't make that out. I bet you couldn't tell that. This is our climax. You helped out with the planning on this a lot. You did a lot of that. You helped me out with the prep work for the effects and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Also coming up here is one of the few lines. There's only 2 intentionally funny lines in this whole movie, and I did not write them. So one of them's coming up here, which is improv by Brian. When Brian just goes, "You dick." That's a great line, and people laughed at that at the premiere, which I was so happy. Right there. And the other intentionally funny line was when Brian is talking to Shane, and Shane goes, "You was dressed up as a woman? Are you even hurt?" And I like that line. But coming up here, this was a long night. Wait, you're still in this movie, actually, later on. You're still in this movie.
Yeah, I'm
technically. But this is our bloody floor scene.
Oh.
Here's a whole behind-the-scenes thing of this on YouTube to check out. But there you are. Uriel played me in this scene. How is it to play me? Does it happen? No, it happens later on. There's more of you. But not much happens in this scene. This is our Night of the Living Dead reference. Another public domain movie. But I just wanted to make a reference. I love that film. But like that whole bloody floor scene, we basically spent all night just cutting out cardboard, putting that on the ground, then pouring fake blood. That's all real fake blood. That makes any sense, but you know what I mean. Actual fake blood.
Yeah, that and the garage scenes were just
some of the longest stuff we had to do for the movie.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a mat under that carpet to break our fall. But like, yeah, like that bloody floor scene, like, and the scene's not as long as I thought it was. In the fight, it's only like a minute long, but we prepped all night. I remember when we finished, we like sat down to watch a movie, and I was like passed out after like the first 20 minutes of the movie we started watching, because that was like so much work. I love this one bit here. Here, this is like more recent footage. That shot doesn't really match, but right here,
No, stay here.
that was Ben playing Brian. Because again, Chris didn't act with anybody in this movie.
Get your medic right away.
He's actually, Chris doesn't meet anybody aside, doesn't know anybody in this movie aside from like me and Ben. So, I love his acting in this bit here. It's really good. So, yeah.
Come on, let's get out of here.
He's not really a good cop, is he? Just,
Yeah, he's...
and then, oh my god, when he crashed into this box, I was not expecting this. He like literally, he ripped that thing just by falling into it. And the best part is this take right here. This is the second take. When he just goes, Brody. First take, he takes on the phone and just yells, Brody! And it was ridiculous. But we ended up just cutting that. I was like, can you say that a bit more calm next time? Just to be safe, you know.
Oh.
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 I like this shot.
Oh.
I like that. Just kind of the blood. It actually worked out pretty well. I was surprised. I keep saying that a lot because I was just surprised that things worked.
Hello? Is anybody there?
Mills. Hey, Mills.
Mills is dead. I need help.
Oh, coming up here is the throat slit scene. You're involved in that.
Oh yeah, I remember.
You were the lighting guy for that because you were our effects technician because Sam couldn't make it. This is probably the best effect in the whole movie. Probably my favorite moments in the whole movie as well. The most nerve-wracking as well. Right. That's amazing. You were pumping the blood during that.
Yeah, I remember. I was just sitting there out of frame.
Yeah, because our
with that
effects
little
technician.
turkey baster.
Yeah, because our effects technician couldn't be there that day, Sam. And then this is the bloody floor scene, and
Will.
all our work paying off.
I'm actually in this scene also.
Yeah,
That's me, isn't it?
yeah, it's you.
Yep.
You're in the costume because I wanted to. No offense to you, but I wanted to shoot the scene myself to make sure it all worked out. Because this was a lot of work, so that's you. You did good. Good job playing me. You're kind of like walking in place in that shot, but yeah. And then wait, and then he runs into your dead body. So you're in the scene twice. So you're still in the movie. I love this part. And they kick in the door and run in. That was just so cool. Part of that climax. I think the climax surprisingly worked out for being shot over so many different days with so many different people at different times. Like barely anybody was ever in the same shot like together, you know?
But it still has like a certain flow to it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Shane looked at the camera. Oh, he glanced at the camera right there. But anyway, you know why Ben does that? Just so the scene's easier, like it's better lit. Just for lighting. Now I don't know why Brian would have fallen over there, but he does. And then there's Ben playing Mizbah. Because again, a lot of people were shot separately. Ben plays a lot of people in this movie. He plays Mizbah. He plays Brian. He plays your voice. This scene didn't turn out as well. It was supposed to be a really cool moment, but it didn't work out as well as it could have.
I remember using squibs to
Yeah, squibs.
imitate the gunshots for this scene.
Yeah.
And his shirt actually caught on
Oh,
fire.
his shirt caught on fire. Yeah, that didn't work.
Yeah.
The one squib that worked,
Fire.
that one squib right there, that was a squib. That was a test.
You're under arrest. 6-7.
All of our test squibs worked perfectly. All of our real ones failed miserably. So that's
It sucks that we didn't really have any of them
Yeah.
on film besides that one.
Yeah.
that you just saw.
yeah, but yeah, like when Mizbah gets shot earlier, there were supposed to be squibs for it, but there's none in the actual movie, just for because we couldn't get them to work.
Tommy, you okay?
Essentially. And it's Sam's hands. Sam plays my hands for most of this movie. So that's Sam's hands unhooking himself from the stub, just because. That shot took a while just to get it to land in a good spot and not off camera. So this is our final scene. We're coming up at the end. This is it.
Grand finale.
I have a hard time watching this scene just because we reshot most of it for Psychos, and that version is so much better than this one. So it's kind of like our little standoff, good, the bad, and the ugly type of deal. And then that's my hands, and that's also my hands in this shot. That was kind of weird because I shot that scene outside by myself in the costume, and right as I was filming, this family was getting out of the car next door. It was kind of awkward.
They're probably just thinking, what the hell's this kid doing over here?
Because it was me in the costume, all by myself with all the fake blood. Our epic fight scene that didn't really turn out the way it should have been. We helped choreograph this scene. However, I like the version in Psycho was much better. But, what you're gonna do. This was an early movie. And, these close-ups, we didn't have any close-ups of it. So, of the knife hitting. So that's reused footage from your death scene. And yes, you can see him wearing a sweatshirt in that scene. Because this was December, this was Christmas Eve. I did not want to sit outside in a short sleeve shirt on Christmas Eve. And also then, Brian pours the fake blood on my head, and it all seeped down into my hairline. So, it took me a while to get all the blood out of my hair. And I was going out that night, too. Oh, styrofoam heads. Oh, God. Those are just, no. No. But, yeah. So that's Psycho 5. Any final thoughts?
No, I don't know. Hope you guys enjoyed the movie.
You proud of this movie?
Yeah.
I am too.
We put a lot of effort into this.
It's our first real experience with this.
This is the product of several years.
Yes. And for the most part, it pays off.
Yeah.
Has issues, definitely. But for the most part, pays off. It's a good first film. Because I hadn't made any other movies that are this serious attempts at filmmaking. And for a first attempt, I think it's good. For being an hour and 2 minutes, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad
Holds
at
it.
all.
And yeah, so that's Psycho 5, a fan film. Hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. Hope you guys enjoy the movie. And yeah, that's about it. So talk to you later.